Hello, I'm Colonel Failure, and this is Train Fever. Last time we were here, we built quite a lot of track in order to finish off the second half of the Loftus loop. This time around, I have finished the track off already. I've also done some fairly major kind of road construction here in Nuneaton, which at the moment looks a bit odd, but once this place fills out a little, it should look kind of cool. And in the AI we trust. Now I need to remodel the bus route that's going on. I mean, look at it; it's rubbish at the moment. I mean, it goes over here, and then you've got two little stops over there. I need to take in all of this development here. I need to stop at the station. Lots to do there. Okay, so let's just show you the track that we laid. I've also upgraded this road here, so this country road is now a full-on maximum speed effort, because we do use this lumber mill down here. So I've upgraded the road wherever possible to use the maximum speed of the Peterbilt trucks that are running down it, linking the two towns together quite nicely. Plenty of, bit of tunnel, bit of bridge, straight lines wherever possible. It's all pretty glamorous stuff. So there we go. This now links up all the way back down there. And what I ought to do is get rid of that. And since that guy's not on there at the moment... Yeah, I know, this was supposed to be the tour of what I've accomplished, rather than, hold on, I just want to accomplish something else for a moment. Which road did I delete there? This game isn't half overzealous at helping you to delete bits of road that you wanted to keep. Right, if we swoop that round there, we can take off a... Where do we want to take it from? Let's take it from there. There you go. That's kind of nice. Assuming, of course, they're going in this direction. What's that? That's a lumber processing, which is coming from there. So actually, that wasn't the way it wanted to go. Although, it does need to go into town. So maybe if I were to take a second one off here, that's probably more road than I wanted to build, but that'll do the trick. Anyway, right, so this finishes off heading out to Waltham Abbey here, which is home of the infamous Waltham Abbey somewhat underground station, and we'll be getting to that in just a moment. Just let me finish polishing this section here. Right, good. Right, so yeah, coming out from Nuneaton, we come back, swooping up onto the bridge and into the station, which is here. So, what I have to figure out now is what the hell is the route they're going to do, because it's a lot more complicated than... Well, or is it? I mean, the original loop that we did was a figure eight. This one, however, is probably actually more loop-like. Anyway, let's start where all things begin, at Maryport. One thing I want to do in Maryport soonish, and I have no idea how impossible it's going to be, is I want to upgrade the second loop. So there's the second bus route. I want to upgrade that to being a tram, largely to carry more passengers and run a little bit more quickly, but not for today. Right, so railroad, new line. And yes, this is a new line because it's going to replace the existing Loftus loop, despite taking in pretty much the same stops. The challenge, of course, is going to be whether I remember to do the right stuff or not. Okay, so first things first, we stop at Maryport. This is Grand Central. Which way am I going to go first? Let's go out first. Let's go out this way. Now, I'm pretty sure I've got all the points I need set up. I've got some of the signalling done as well. The fact that this bridge has gone missing surprises me a little. I don't think I deleted it. Anyway. Oh, you're giving me a terrain alignment collision. That's just brilliant. There's me thinking I'm ready to rock and roll, and you're messing me around. There we go. Right, with that done, we should be able to do the other side, right? Right. Sure. There was nothing wrong with you there. That was all fine. Now, stay. I hope it didn't collapse some kind of natural disaster. Right, so this line coming out here also serves Ellesmere, which we haven't got to yet. So Ellesmere is also on the excuse me, on the main loop that we've already done. Is that Holsworthy? I think it is. So there is an option to put a second loop in here that actually takes in some really, I mean, that would actually be an enormous loop. Maybe we use that as the Clay Cross. I've got no idea. That one's going to be exciting. Anyway, there's an option there, and this really fabulously complicated junction is going to help with that. And to be honest, I definitely want to run stuff down there because that's going to be entertaining to watch that junction do its thing. Okay, so coming out of Maryport, we go into Waltham Abbey. Right, tell me you can find a route. It could just be that it hasn't decided which way it wants to go yet. Unless I've deleted something I shouldn't have. The tunnel's still here, right? Sometimes the first you know that your tunnel's no longer present is here, like this, exactly like that, exactly this moment. You kind of go, well, how did that happen? And this is obviously what took out the bridge as well, but it left some remnants of track, which I find a little odd. And mercifully, I've got the cash to get all of this done, and the game has decided to be pleasant to me for a change and not declare that it can't build tunnels and things. So then we go through this tunnel here, downhill. Now originally we came out up here, and the resultant bridge was excessive, let's say. Okay, so running on the right, should stay on the right hand side all the way around here. Go through the tunnel, come out of the tunnel, go through another tunnel into Waltham Abbey, come out of the tunnel, and then head up to Nuneaton. All of this is bothering me, of course, because it's not showing me a route, which usually means there's a problem. I don't want there to be a problem. We're going to put the whole thing in and see where we get to. After Nuneaton, we go to Bishop's Stortford. So these are all new stops on the line here. Then out to Eastwood. And this is where it gets fun. Because then we're back on here again. Actually, then we come into Loftus itself. Okay, right, interesting. And then Maryport Central again. So, this is looping. The question is, how do I get the other half of the Loftus side to actually loop rather than doing a back and forth? In fact, do I need to? Okay, right, well, you know what? I like that as a route, and certainly the existing Loftus route that we're running is working okay. So maybe I don't need to connect the two. Let's think. So from Maryport, there is no going the other way. So going out through Loftus, basically it would run 2 laps going the other way. Right. Okay. So this is well. Let's give this another name. This is the Waltham Abbey. Just happens to have a shared station in the form of Loftus. Okay, now I'm not sure, given that it's not showing this line up at all. We've got a hole in our track somewhere. We must have a hole in the track. So you're coming out of here. And you don't really care which station at the moment. It would have to be... Yeah, it's going to have to be this side. So you're going to have to come in on this side here. Which we know works because the Loftus loop uses it. You come through this tunnel, which does still exist. all this track is connected. All this track is connected. Through the tunnel here. Over the bridge. Got a signal there. Yeah, okay, this is so far so good. That tunnel exists. Okay, I think the long and the short of it is I'm just going to have to buy a train, run it, and see where it comes unstuck. But I don't think that I've missed a bit. And if I had, surely I would have spotted it already. So, why is this called School Lane? Is that an original station? Oh, this is actually a linked station. Goodness me. Such things I didn't think still existed. Okay, right. No. We don't need to add it on again. Remove. We can get rid of Maryport Grand Central from the end of it, because obviously it goes back to its starting point at the end of the route. It's Bishop Stortford. Right, okay, so maybe the connection problem is between Bishop Stortford and rather between Eastwood and Loftus. But it didn't show up at all, did it? It didn't show up at any point. So we're coming down here. We're staying on this right-hand side of the station. So actually, I ought to put that in. Let's go Eastwood. Let's put this signal on as a stop to make sure it stays on the right side of the track. We've got any more around here? Yeah, let's have that one as well. Could be missing. Actually, no, it shouldn't matter, because it will treat the route as workable if it's if you're running a diesel. It won't really care. Right. Okay. So then it comes out. Then we go down here. I mean, this is the section where if we're missing a bit of electrification, that's where it will show up. All right, and then we're into Loftus, and we've got all of that working, and we know it's working. Right, okay, find me a depot. I want to buy a train, and the train I want to buy, unsurprisingly enough, is another metro liner. Now, we'll replace all of these at some point when another suitable service comes along. But, right, let's set you on the Waltham Abbey loop. It's waiting for a free path. Okay, well, this is where it gets exciting. Let's up the speed just a touch. And let's follow the sucker. Okay, where are you heading first? You're heading Loftus. You're heading Loftus... Why, exactly? The other way would have been... desirable. There's another looping train there. In fact, I think this is possibly going to be our busiest section. Originally, I thought it was going to be out the other side of Maryport, but from the feel of it, this might be our busiest section now. Under this incredibly underused bridge. Oh no! Going into Loftus is perfectly acceptable. Right, so we arrive at Loftus. And actually, let's call the station up while we're at it, because that's also a telltale of whether the... Okay, we've got no route to Maryport Grand Central, which must mean we're missing a bit of electrification here. Because once these tracks merge, there's no problem at all. And actually, I mean, the game's pretty good at showing. So if there was a missing section here, for example, if this was missing, the wires, the overhead wires, would actually show a break. But this doesn't make any sense at all, because this section of track is heavily used. Unless there's a very small gap just outside the station. Interesting. Okay, I want to adjust this this route. Where are you? Waltham Abbey Loop. So after this, so after Loftus, we want you to hit up. I mean, it's really got no choice in the matter. But add station, and the station I want to add is this signal right here. Just to make sure it stays on the right side of the track. But I'm at a loss to understand why it's having trouble over here. Because this section of the station is well used, and there's signals enough that it would be able to move up. As you can see, look, you know, there's nobody in there at the moment. Why do you not have a path? Because Maryport Grand Central is the other side, you blithering idiot. Okay, you probably spotted that. Let's remove that. Add station. We want international. Okay, and then after international, it's trying to take a really, really long route out to Waltham Abbey. So that's not sensible. Oh no, it's trying to go... no, Maryport to Waltham Abbey. So after Maryport, we want to go through this signal here. No, why did you disappear again? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now it's suggesting that we've got a break in signalling over here somewhere. Well, not a break in signalling, a break in electrification. This lot should all be fine. It's going to be when we start doing complicated things. So when tracking down brakes, you want to go directly to the end of the piece that was working. All of this looks fine. Let's just have a quick poke in the tunnel. Yeah, this all looks fine. So for example, at the end of this red section here, moving that way, that's where you could have one of those tiny, piddling little pieces of track that hadn't been upgraded, but this one has. So, given the problems with the bridge, this could be the location of one of the aforementioned tiny piddling pieces of track, but no, this is happy. Okay. Right, well, I'm going to add this signal here onto the loop. I rather wish I hadn't closed that window, but there you go. Come on, we're going to do this. This is going to work. This is going to happen. We're going to find it. It's going to run today. Now, all of this should be fine because I had electrification set. See, look, it's a little piece like that is often the thing that causes the drama, but I had electrification selected when building this section of track, so there should be no potential problems. And again, this is all brand new track, so it's going to be high speed, it's going to be electrified already. Let's just check the tunnel entrances. And again, the bridge is the same deal, but it can't even get to Waltham Abbey. There's this is annoying. So it's going to be one of the legacy pieces of track, and it could be out the other side of Loftus, potentially. Although that feels unlikely to me. And this is always a good thing to see when you're looking to upgrade and it's showing the track highlighted for miles in each direction. You know you're all good. And oddly enough, red is what we're looking for. Come on. Right, here we go. Loftus run up. Oh, there was a bit. That helps. There is the potential that I'm still missing some, but right now my only concern is getting this this particular train running. I'm pretty sure that if we look at lines 1 and 2 here, I'm pretty sure those are all already fully operational, given that the existing loop uses both sides of it. Loftus we already know works because that's where it is. Okay, let's unpause. Let's see what it says. It should now be able to get to Maryport at least. Why are you trying to get to Waltham Abbey? Oh well, Lord, let's follow it. I mean, this will show whether this side of the track is working or not. Well, it'll show whichever side of the track it decides to use is working or not. It's going to be expensive. Okay, it's going down the right-hand side. That's all good. This is not what I had in mind. Okay, why have you switched back? You switching back indicates there's a gap in electrification on this side somewhere. Can we see it from the overheads? Or is it because I told it to go via a particular signal? Oh, come on. Okay, I'm going to go figure this out. Stay there. I'll be back in a moment. Once this is running, we'll have a quick blast. All right, stay there. Okay, I haven't quite finished figuring it out yet, but here's something that I did. I found out where the problem is. So the problem is somewhere between Maryport and Waltham Abbey on this section of track here. And it's an electrification gap. And I know this for absolute certainty, and I'll show you why. I only mention this because I thought it might come in useful when you too are having trouble. So I built what I've called Test Line, which runs from Maryport International to Waltham Abbey. Now, I've got a train running on there, and at the moment, it can't run. So we can see the yellow line, which is the Waltham Abbey loop, right? We can see it here. Now, if I switch this train over, if we set this onto said Waltham Abbey loop, this turns green. Why does it turn green? Because, and then the yellow disappears. And the reason it's doing that is because the yellow is running an electric, it's now running an electric train on it, and it can't complete that loop. So there's a problem with it. If I switch this over to the test line disappears. And because it's running an electric train, it can't see the loop. So the test line doesn't actually need anything running on it. But there is, and I've been over this whole section about 3 times now, and I can't find where it's missing the electricity. So there you go. A quick test line between 2 stations will show up where you've got a hole in your electrification, and wherever this hole is, it's going to be tiny. Okay, I'm going back to it. Stay tuned. I haven't finished yet. Look at this thing. Look at it. Just look at that. Now, you're doing this, and when dragging over like this, it doesn't even show up 3/4 of the time. The only reason I noticed it was because of the break in the line here. Now, I've spent probably an hour and a half looking for this thing, and as it turns out, it's right there. To put this into context of where we're actually talking about, it's on this little section of convoluted points here, but it's right there. It was the break in the line that gave it away. So, oh, look at that. The test line, all of a sudden, it knows what the hell it's doing. It's running everything up the same side. Oh, no, that's only to get it onto the right side of the platform. In fact, it shouldn't even have to do that. Regardless, we now have, I think, the ability to run this line successfully. So let's put you back onto the Waltham Abbey loop. Set line. It's not running at the moment. But I mean, seriously, I went over that thing time and time again. I went over that piece particularly thoroughly. Right, let's get this running. Enough of having the flaming electrification menu open. Right, are you in fact facing the right way? And go. Stop. Reverse. Go. Yeah, beep beep to you too, pal. Okay, so I'm hopeful that this is now going to work. In fact, I want to call the loop up, the route up, just to make sure. Yeah, I've still got it checking a signal on the way. Getting it through this next section when it comes out the other side is going to be tricky. If for any reason any train decides to use a track that I haven't set it to, it's going to cause absolute bedlam. The level of mayhem involved, and I'm talking about, I'm going to pause here, talking about this section right here. Okay, so as you can see, so if you imagine Maryport International out the other side there, this comes into platforms 1 and 2, this one comes into 3 and 4. Now, both 1, 2, 3 and 4, no, probably 1 and 3 or something like that, are used by the Loftus loop for stuff coming in and out. Now, when I've figured this out in a more clever fashion, I'll try and make it so that these trains come into a platform that means that they're not getting blocked. But I won't spot that until it happens. Anyway, onwards. So making sure that everybody ends up on the right line here is kind of vital, especially since we're going to be running things in both directions. Right, continue following. Now, the way to tell whether this is actually working is, do we have a time? Yes, we do. We've got a time on this loop now. Thank the Lord for that one. Smashing. And since it's only 8 minutes to complete the loop, I'll only run one train down it for the moment. I could probably make more profit by running more than one train, but I want this thing to build up a little bit first, and I'll run one in the opposite direction as well, and all being well, that'll sort things out. Not to mention the fact that this area here is going to get crowded once we start running trains down from International. You're on the wrong side of the track, mate. You're on the wrong side of the track. Why are you on the wrong side of the track? Okay, right. Your opportunity to go onto the right side of the track was here. Okay, so if I stick a signal on there, we'll see very quickly whether we've got a similar scenario at play. If I put a signal just after these points, actually, that would be good. Just before the points. Right there, that one. Okay, so this was coming from Maryport. We still haven't made it to Waltham Abbey. God damn it. And then that one. Okay, it sees no reason why it can't do that. Yeah, I'm dubious. So you're on the wrong side of the track, and you're going to stay that way unless I put some points in. No, I'll put some in now. The only reason I'm going to put them in now is because I know this track is already electrified. Or I'm really hoping it's still flaming electrified. Right, off you trot. You should come sailing through here and switch track away from your erroneous ways. That's my sincere hope. Anyway, here we go. There you go. Doing it properly. Okay, so coming into Waltham Abbey, finally. I think it was probably about 6 episodes ago that I first did anything with Waltham Abbey, and now finally we've got a train arriving in there. Terrific. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I've been Colonel Failure. Next time around, we're going to run the stuff in the other direction. I'm going to make sure it works first. We don't want to play another episode of Hunt the little piece of electrical cabling missing. Thanks very much for watching today. Leave a like, leave a subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.